What's going on, Kansas City? What's going on? It's your boy Hypocrisy, HY to the Hypocrisy, and I am here back with another Poetry Is. Oh, yes. I got the one and only Brandon Amayzn Nelson in the building. Amazing. Mr. 2023. Right? 2023 Kansas City People's Choice Award winning.
Yes.
Mr. Soul, what is it? Simply Sangria, Simply Poetry, current belt holder, and got his free ride to the Beast Wars Battle Bars. Which one is it?
I won Battle Bars for the year 2025, and I had free entry into Poet Wars, which, it's gonna be a fun time.
I bet it is. I can't wait. Hopefully I'm able to make that. We will see. Maybe I'll compete. We don't know. But I digress. We're not here for me. We're here for you, my friend. We're here to talk to you, my friend. What's going on? Good to see you. I hope you don't mind. I like to partake every now and again.
Show world, I'm just here.
Okay. Well, I told you how we was gonna get this started. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready. Cause we about to get some fire right fast. About to get some fire right fast. Like I said, I need 2 poems to start us off, man. 2 poems to start us off. Let's
sit up, this couch is kind of low and comfy.
It's perfect. Short.
So it's simple. I never chose to be a poet. But I was handed this opportunity to make best of an up and down kind of life. So I write. And I make the hardest thing I've ever had to do appear to be the easiest task to you. Because when I'm on stage, I aim, lock, load, engage a room filled individual like a one-on-one game. And tonight is showtime. Because all the lights are extra bright. Somebody's got to see this. That a poet's life ain't always peaches and cream. And it's nothing from my wildest dream. But yet, considering what history talks about black folks and chitlins, I think I'm doing pretty good with the scrapes and scraps I'm giving them. And that's the twist about these poems. Is that there are no poets from the slums I'm from, which means my poems gotta be slums where kids pack guns, hustle for bubblegum and hum buns. So it's not anger or rage, but passion placed in every consonant and every vowel. I place the east side, I send back to my hood and tell them they can still do better, because I'm not above them. So I still like to go home to 7 Oaks and I kick it like Beckham. I used to buy treats from Leon's Supermarket, where the biggest crush ever taught me, a closed mouth don't get fed. So heavy is my hunger. These poems gotta be slumpers, because I'm illin' for the children. However, just because I'm willing to talk about what's going on, it don't make me conscious. Or the fact that I mention God in my pieces make me religious. You gotta reach folks on the level where they are, the same way Malcolm X once stressed. So if my poem makes connect, I'm blessed. So I work hard the way a people's champ could, would, and should, despite not feeling beat down and worn. Not because I'm bearing heaven's weight, but that of a town that don't always love us back. So I'm telling you, I get scared. Terrified like Superman trying to fly with no powers, but in life there's 3 things I can't stand. Hate hires, hate having regrets, and I hate cowards. So how dare for a mic I've been confronted since I was 9, despite not having 3 favorite poets till I was 26. So I spit like my brother's freedom is on the line. Why? Because my brother's freedom is on the line. It is college will written and biracially for this world. It's filled with misguided souls talk. There's something wrong with being different. I choose to be indifferent because people often judge what they don't understand. But to save this girl and that man, I be Batman in the places where the Justice League refuses its responsibility over its abilities when it's just us. For we are to admire the strong and still love the weak. See, I speak because my best friend was taken before his son was able to speak, and what's bittersweet was having a laugh to keep from crying in his funeral. But in Gotham, we ain't privileged to just lay down and die. So on these bat wings, I write. And I make the hardest thing I've ever had to do appear to be the easiest task for you. Through every tear and every fear, because it's been a long time coming, and change got no choice but to come. And I'm going to do my part till it gets here, because that is my choice.
You might have seen me wording some of that. Teammates. It's the teammate. For sure. It's a regulator.
Mount up.
Let's go. Got one more, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So this next poem I'm gonna do, it actually has a story behind it, right?
Okay.
So couple falls ago, I meet up with a really good friend, and she was commissioning me to write a poem about her life. And we talked for like 2-3 hours. And by the time I was done, I had already written the poem. And what ended up being was, instead of looking at what she had been through, and walking away with another what we call trauma porn.
Yeah.
Trauma porn. I ended up getting this, and the poem simply asks, has anybody told you how good resilience looks on you? That you don't look like what you've been through, and that you carrying the weight of the world so effortlessly with no girdle, no filter, all sustenance, no filicacy. Having less flaws does not make you more flawless when it's your scars that have made you awesome. That's why I'm awestruck by your demeanor. Like how exes have not made you meaner, because a piece of shit can't stand you. That's why those who know ground to talk can't stand you, because you ain't wholesome, you whole and some. You God's fingerprint magnificent. Use a righteous weirdo who destroyed a prototypical motor was supposed to be considered art. That makes your love language a Mozart. And who really taught you to be so unique? Because a person will spend their lifetime trying to find your duplicate. But has anybody ever told you you remind them of the color change in the fall? That your piece personified, yet you're fiery as a summer. Your winters give and spring splits. You got a way about you that's forever changing destination and exhilarating as a day trip. So exploring you can never be old. That means you deserve to be adored. To not be treated scandalous, because your kisses aren't the prize. You make somebody want to be your girlfriend to take care of you the way a best friend can, and to wipe your eyes when your doves cry, because you deserve 6 first-round picks and lump sum. You are the mystery flavor and airheads and dum-dums. You're good for no reason, like reassurance and deliverance. You are a father's hope and a grandmother's prayer. You're so dope. Every word in this poem will be about you without ever telling you just how beautiful you are. And if nobody gives you that type of compliment, then today we can say somebody did.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I am surviving. Good hit. That was a good poem. That was a good poem.
Thank you.
All right. So what inspires you to write?
So I mentioned in my poem about being from 7 Oaks. I always mention that because I think that it's important that we know as poets, everybody don't always look like you. We look like each other, but we don't look like each other. And I always reflected as I want to be able to write something or allowed to be write something that translate to people that look like me, that didn't always have access to poetry, or maybe never even knew that there was a such thing as spoken word. And when I first started, I wasn't really sure about it. I wasn't sure that this was going to be something that I would continue, because just like every good thing, you should have some questions. Otherwise, you haven't been doing it right. And once I started seeing people that I felt familiar with, the people that didn't look like they were Bible or book scholars, the people that talk in slang, that don't always use a lot of big words, were able to feel what I was saying, and I became their muse. Then I realized I was on the right path, and I've been at it ever since.
Is that a poet's goal to become a muse for somebody that doesn't have the? Because I like to say, if you got hands, if you got a mind, you got eyes, you got senses, you can write. Anybody can be a writer. Anybody can do poetry. Because everybody has a story.
Correct. I believe that. Let's see. I think our goal is to inspire the next generation. That will always be. Don't get me wrong. Being able to travel, go all the places we go, get paid for what we do is always a beautiful thing.
True.
But what's the point of doing all that stuff if people don't want to hear what you have to say, or at least read what you have to say, so that they can find something in what we're doing that pushes them to want to move their pen. And that's whether it's just starting, actually practicing something that might seem novice, to even bettering themselves so they can get up there in status and be the next Black Chakra, or the next Ayanna Florence, or the next Ed Mabry, and so on and so forth, you know?
Yeah, names. Giants. Okay. What is your favorite thing to write about?
Honestly, my favorite thing is sorry. I'm cool. My favorite thing actually is to write life experience.
Okay. Explain.
So using me as an example, I like finding correlations in little things that get overlooked, get looked past. Like the poem I've been performing for a couple years now, Pink. I said, but I don't think people really realized it. That I started with the thing about real men wear pink, and how it really is a blend of red and white, and the shades and the tints are always dependent on how much red or how much white is applied to the combination. But when you find out that red cells and white blood cells, when they start acting against each other and they overdo their job, they create mass that become cancer. And as I start picking apart these correlations, I'm also thinking like, well, my mama was the one that told me we're pink, and then she's also July 9th cancer, and so I started finding these little things where I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here, and I took some of the life experiences from losing friends or witnessing people in battles, because I also work in a hospital, so it allowed me to navigate. And I was able to write out a story that turns out to be so many people's stories. And so my life experience turned out to be other people's life experiences. And that was beautiful to know I can stand in front of people, and what I'm sharing, I don't have to be alone in it.
Check. All right, man. I got one more question. What is a two-part question?
Okay.
All right, so you've been doing poetry for how long?
20 years now.
20 years now. Okay. Cool. If you knew then what you know now, what would you tell your younger poet self?
All right. If I knew then what I know now, I would tell my younger self, trust the process. Because young me, and I wish I could tell this to a particular poet we know, but I'll just share it with y'all.
They may be watching.
In year 2 or 3, I really had call it quits. I really wanted to quit. I had won a slam. It sometimes was hard having conversations with other poets because being my size and with the energy I present, people automatically wrote me as arrogant, cocky, a lot of different things, and it made it where socializing and trying to gain trying to gain knowledge from others really got hard. I started doubting myself. I started doubting that I was doing the right thing. It was a whole lot happening, and then just one day, I finally wrote something that made me feel like I finally said what Brandon had to say, and what everyone else was wanting to hear me say. And after 3 years of L, I finally won a slam. Then after that, I started more confident in who I was. I started exploring more of everything that I had. So that meant that I would study artists, not just artists. So I would study a rock artist, just as I would a rapper, battle rapper, and I started finally finding what I wanted to say, and made it my thing, not what everyone else expected. So now it's soon to be 41 years old. Big Tours game. So now at almost 41 years old, I'm able to say trust the process. I appreciate everything I went through to get here. I appreciate the journey until because if I had quit, I probably would have missed so much. Facts. And I'm a better person because of it. But you said it's a two-part question. So what's up?
That was the second part. First part was how long you been doing poetry. The second part was what would you tell your younger poet self?
All right. So can I ask you a question?
What's up?
So I believe I met you. You were doing poetry at UMPC when we first met.
Check.
You know, pre-dreads.
Pre-locks, pre-dreads, pre-hair that was longer than long.
So even though I've seen you on the journey, what would you tell your younger self from the position you are right now?
Start sooner. Start sooner. I didn't start writing until I was 22. And so not saying it's not too late. I'm saying it was right on time. Well, I take that. I didn't start performing until I was 22. I started writing as soon as I got out of college. So that was 2006.
Okay.
So I didn't start performing until 2010.
Okay, so we technically walked in the door about the same time.
No, you was there before me.
So I started writing in 2005, and started performing not too long after.
Yes. It took me 4 years before I started performing. 5 years before I started winning slams. What, 10 years total? 2015 I went to the first out of town nationals in Oakland.
Yeah, that was 2015.
So yeah, about 9 years after I started. About 5 years after I started performing, went to nationals. So it was a journey. It took me a minute to get there to that level. Bro, I was only writing 1 minute 30 second poems. If that. Now I'm writing stories. Almost.
Yeah. At that time I was writing more speeches than actual prose. So when I say the greatest lesson I learned from being around you and the rest of Let Me Lit was definitely learning to edit.
Oh man! I wish I would have paid more attention. All right. So we started off with 2 poems, and we got to end it with 2 poems. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate questions. I hope you at home, you in YouTube land, listening. Oh. Snap. I got one more question.
What's up?
I got one more question. You got a book, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's the name of your book?
So I was able to finally put out my first book called Truths. Published through Fire Publishing.
Okay. Shout out to Sherry
Hall.
Hey.
And it was a collection of poems that were from my male perspective, and hopefully open the door to, I would say, opening a door more to men being more vocal with their vulnerability.
Facts. All right, now. So get you a copy of Book of Truths. What do you have coming in the near future for people to come and check you out and all your amazingness? Cause that's your name, Amayzn.
Well, first I'm gearing to see what the regulars are going to do first, because definitely got to make sure we take care of the home squad first. By fall, I should be having a word out about what the my crew is going to be doing, because it's time. But more importantly, I just want to keep growing as an artist and as boyfriend, as definitely a dad. But just use everything to the best of my ability so I can be better overall, and not just with my pen.
Facts.
But you said two poems.
Yeah, two man. We have I don't know what happened, man. But Tom Stone came into play, man, and 10 minutes came back on the board. So we had that's why I jumped in and got questions in there. I'm like, you gotta eat up all this time, me. We can't just let all this information be held in when it given out to people.
All right, so I make you I spit one more poem, but I have a two-part question to ask.
You gotta do two poems, and you can still ask your two-part question.
Okay. All right.
It's the format.
But all right. My question is two parts.
This is not the Jordan child.
I don't want to do the poem. All right. So what is your favorite poem of mine and why?
I don't know the title of it. I think it's Superman. The one about your dad. Cause it's like it's a truth. It's a reality that that is seen. That is. It's not really seen. One side sees it, but outside is just you a kid, man. So it's not too much you can about it. You can hope that it changes and you become the superhero that you see him as. It's just the truth in it.
So about that poem, it was really written after a very first place. It was one of the first times I decided to tap into being born. That was at midnight. I hurt. I'm angry. I don't know what's happening. I was really in a messed up place. And when I wrote it out, there was so much anger and hatred behind it. So then I even felt that I want to slam with it. But that's also the thing about human experience. Your yesterday can influence your today, and it doesn't have to be your tomorrow. And so the relationship between my dad and I changed. And I would tell anybody out there doesn't have the greatest relationship with your parents. Make some time to talk. Y'all can at some point be adults and find a common ground to agree to disagree, and still walk away peaceful because it took forever. But I finally stopped calling him by his first name to the point I found the right to call him Pop because that was my personal name for him, and I'm even at this big age able to proud to tell my that's my daddy. And I couldn't have started the journey without that poem, but I don't have to do that ever again in life.
That's not saying you gotta do it again, but that's how it is in real life. We write stuff to give it a body, to give it some type of form, to do what we want. Like in that time, it was you, and so you utilize that tool. You channel that anger, that disappointment, all of that, and you put it in the poem, and the performance show. So I don't mean to say that was just pure work. So that's why I say it's one of my favorites. It was just pure work, and I know it's retired. I know it's done.
I've actually had a few people tell me that that's their favorite poem because it's someone that they associate with. But I also have now understood why I've heard so many elder poets tell me why they couldn't redo a poem because they weren't in that place to do it again.
That's what you gotta do.
And being in such a better mindset, I'm glad that I wrote it. It was good for the time it was. But I'm glad that it still speaks for that haven't found that same piece yet, or that it helps them in their healing process. It just doesn't have to be a part of mine anymore.
Gotcha.
But I bookmark it and know that every poem that we write has some significance. Because once we write and present it, it's no longer our poem anymore. It's everyone else's. And I'm glad that poem is still helping people that need it. It just doesn't need me anymore.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So we can break the rules. I need one poem and a haiku. Switched it up.
See, he wants to switch it up on somebody's freestyle. Let's play this out.
Now haiku people. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. That's how you make a haiku. Class is over.
Okay. Music and more has done so much for me. I all but give no thanks and no, I messed it up. Let's rewind.
Yes. The challenge is given.
All right, because I hate when I can't answer a challenge. Hypocrisy is thinking I must be something I am not, but am.
He's not a tourist. All right, he did it. He got me.
But all right, so we did say that I've had a book out.
Yes.
So one of the poems in this book is called "Then What," and it was written in response to being treated as if I had to do what everyone else is doing because that's what the judges were expecting me to do. And this is what came out. See, something that pisses me off as people expect me to spit something black. And then what? Am I going to become more black? Like I could I could possibly have this gorgeous salad around anointed by God's grace and mercy. Even in pain, there is beauty. But I digress. You probably didn't catch that because I don't say the word melanin. And let's be honest, I hate the word melanin. Folks really say 7 letters like it's a big word. And I think some niggas like Latin, even those of the caucuses got a bit. It's just we of Africans have so much of it they call it human. But ain't that just like a nigga that want to do something special down to something? But I digress. You want me to do the black thing like drink myself in Pan-African so I can be presentable. To poetically prostitute my soul is affordable to give you this list of common leaders like the next you can't be better because everybody next to me Malcolm Rose and Rosa Isabella because greatness only gets measured in tens because we desecrate our dead poetry slams. And then what? Are you going to at least send the morning some of your winners a $10 entry fee under the price of their sacrifice on this necro-cannibalism the way YouTube eats off of our dead ones? And I guess you just want a portion too? Not me. I rebel. I stand strong and power like a clinch. So make me the offer not to resist be stereotypical and hypocritical. See, I volunteer to assassinate the agenda of propagating practice. Yeah, I can talk about what's going down in my hood, but am I really doing anything good to waste time on bitching with these victims like you can't, like you can't become more desensitized. And for anybody tries to pull my black card, I bet you this place gets dark. Because rather than test you with this talent that some people think I'm supposed to have, what I would rather be showing you is how this barely high school graduate has only grown more impeccable with the quality of my pen. Because that's the real reason why I'm here. And that is the blackest thing I know how to do.
Ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Nelson.
Thank you.
Mr. 2023 can't see choice. Mr. 2025
Battle Bars champion.
2025 semifinals, PNC's Choice Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Poetry is. I'm your host, Hypocrisy. Follow me on Instagram.
And of course, if you want to, follow me on Facebook, Brandon Amayzn, Amayzn. Also, I'm on Instagram, KC. I'm also on TikTok. Anywhere you type my name in, you will find me.
Amayzn.
For sure.